What's going on, everyone? So we got this EVO today that I'm going to discuss and a couple other things. Let's get right into it. So we actually have the line off of the car, and of course the camera does not, now it wants to focus. But you can see, and you can see in the video, depending how your vacuum lines are routed, of course if you can only see this portion, it would look like there's no issue with the line. And as my camera has a hard time focusing, what I'll also add here is what we have seen before, and I don't even want to say lesser vacuum line, and this is the blow-off valve. Of course, the vacuum line here, so it's kind of away from the heat. It's still going to get hot nonetheless. Not as hot as the wastegate line. We have actually seen where it's almost impossible to detect a hose failure. Of course, you saw with that hose there was a hole in it, but we've seen it before where the hose is split down the middle, and unless you're going around and doing this and checking, which, come on, I mean, how often are you going to be checking like this unless you have an issue? And if you go back in my videos, this is why it's important that a boost leak test after you finish installing a setup should be done. Even as I said before, and I think this was actually my last video of the 9th Gen Orange Civic, just so happens to be an Orange EVO, that I don't care if your boost gauge is reading boost. That doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have a boost leak. So we got this thing all taken care of. We did fix the one oil leak. Unfortunately, after we fixed that leak, we were able to find the other leak, which it appears like there's a small, tiny little hole in the return line. It almost seems like somebody welded in the bay and splatter dropped on that return line itself. So we did update him. I don't know if we have the new line ordered. I don't know what he's doing on that end and that aspect of it. But this goes without saying too, we work on a wide variety of cars. And I'm going to show you that too in a second in another portion of this clip. So just because I focus or I feature a lot of Hondas and Acuras in our videos, it doesn't mean we don't work on other stuff. So keep that in mind, because I do see a lot of comments, I do get a lot of emails asking if we can work on such and such, asking if we feel good, working on this. And I'm going to tell you this too, and this might come by surprise. If you shoot me an email or you get in touch with us any possible way, whatever, and you have something that's rare or something, I don't want to use the word rare, that was wrong, something that we're not super familiar with, we won't take it on. I've learned early on in my career not to take on something that we're not super familiar with. I'd rather point you in the right direction. And that might sound weird. I'd rather point you in the right direction rather than get your car in here, not get it 100% to my likings, maybe take a little bit too long. I'd rather point you in the right direction. A lot of people are kind of surprised by that. And at the end of the day, in my videos, as I said, as I will continuously say too, it's about helping people. It's not about just taking money and trying to wing it. And that is a very big problem in this industry. It always has been, but it seems like nowadays it's even higher. And I believe, personally, this is my thoughts, I believe because it's a lot easier to fake it. It's a lot easier to just go out, buy a cheap laptop, and act like you're a tuner. It's a lot, and we're not even talking about this industry. How many guys might you follow that, post a picture in front of a nice car, but they don't really own it. They're faking that lifestyle. 24 years in business, and we're super busy. Every year it seems like we get busier and busier. The demand gets higher and higher. I'd rather, like I said, why I started this small portion here, I'd rather tell you, no, that's a little bit out of our wheelhouse. maybe go here. This is who we recommend, or maybe just do your research and figure that out, because we don't know who to recommend. So hopefully that's kind of clear on that one. Okay, going off of that, I want to hop right back into this. And of course, as soon as I start doing the video, the heater kicks on. That I'm sure you can hear it. Let me go turn it off because I don't want to be yelling over that. Okay, a little less noisy in here. Going off of what I was saying in the first little segment, here's a video that here's a project I should say, that we're doing an engine bay tuck to a point. Now, the customer contacted us, asked us if we can shave some holes, take some stuff off the firewall, and smooth some stuff out, which in return we said yes, but you still are going to probably have to do a little bit of body work afterwards. It's not going to be you pick up from here and just spray it with paint and be done with it. We're not a body shop, but that goes without saying. We work with metal constantly. It doesn't matter if we're welding up an exhaust or we're building a custom battery tray. Metal is metal, and I tell people this all the time. So if we have to cover up some holes, shave some studs down, no problem with that. And I was also very upfront and forward with him and told him, as I just said, you're going to get this thing back, and it's going to have to go to a body shop. They're going to have to fill some stuff in. That's how it works. We're not doing that body work portion. We're doing the metal work. So, very upfront, very transparent. And I've said this in other videos. I want to say probably about a month and a half ago, when we did an engine bay, we painted it. I'll be the first one to say the engine bay came out great. Is it like SEMA show quality? No. Is it 100 times better than it was? Absolutely. We had another customer that saw what we did to that bay, and he literally said, completely different customer, saw the bay, and he literally said, I want that done. And I said, this was a little bit of a special occasion, why we did it for this customer. And then I told him we can do it, but don't expect it to be show quality. Don't expect to take this thing to SEMA, present the engine bay, and win awards for that. It's about being open and upfront and transparent. And after I told him that, he said, I still want it done. So we're taking care of that too. But that's what I'm trying to get at here. A lot of shops nowadays, I'll say newer shops, they're not in it for the long haul. They're in it to make a quick buck. And if they're around in a year or two, so be it. Or if they're not around in a year or two because, let's say, their reputation got tarnished for whatever reason, then they're just going to change the name up and maybe possibly move locations. I'm sure you know a shop like that. Someone tagged me not too long ago in another shop that, I don't know what happened to the shop owner. I really don't. I do feel for the people that he really took advantage of. That's the big thing too. I tell people, fly-by-night companies, you might save money buying from other companies, but you're not going to get the support that we offer. From the point that you order something or bring a car in, and even after you leave, or even after you get the product, we're here in the long run. You can call us. We're going to answer the phone during business hours. Yeah, we might miss a call here or there. We may miss an email, which bump it up because we're seeing an insane amount of emails, and we're seeing an insane amount of phone calls. Hey, nobody's perfect. I'm going to be the first one to say that too. But I think it's going to get worse before it gets better in this industry, at least. I can't speak on other industries. I know I follow some fitness gurus and whatnot, and they talk about kind of the same stuff, but I'm not that familiar with those industries to speak on it. So I can only speak on these industries. On this industry, I should say. Okay, so I did say at the beginning of this video I was going to cover a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to show you the daily stuff that we do here in a sense, and it just doesn't involve me. And after this clip, or near the end of the clip, you're going to kind of understand why too. I'm going over that. But we have a head here that was dropped off. We are going to do not only a full cleaning on it, it's getting new valves, new springs, retainers. We build cylinder heads. We can also ship them out. We also build blocks, of course. This is another one that was dropped off. This is a sleeve block. We're going to do the final machine work and assembly. And I have some parts over here. This is a Viterra setup that we're doing. We have right now, what is it, 3 or 4? 3 or 4 that we're doing, Viterra builds. Yes, we still build single cam engines. Yes, we don't fully support single cam engines in a sense where guys will say, well, why don't you make a turbo manifold for them? The market's not there. The market's not there. If you have a special request, we'll listen. But the D16 market has been a dying market. I want to say going back like 10 or 12 years ago. So it's not that we don't like the D16. I have to do what's right in a business sense. So that's why we offer less and less products for the D16 as we used to. That goes without saying. It's, business is business. And then sitting over here are pistons and connecting rods from an L15 engine, so from newer Honda Civics. We actually have 5 right now we're building. These are becoming more and more popular. We've built them in the past. It's nice to see guys modifying newer Civics to that extent. But I will say too, if you've been watching my Mythbusters videos, you'll hear me talk about weak spots and weak points, and I can't really, these rods are really thin, and if I grab the single cam rod, well, you can see the difference. Of course, the B series rods are a little bit bigger too, but we have all this stuff going on. Engines that we're intaking, engines that we're shipping out, cylinder heads that we're intaking, cylinder heads we're shipping out to non-locals. And speaking on this, because as I said, I can't cover everything because I can't be everywhere. I did read a comment the other week which somebody said, why are your employees never on camera? Well, 1, not a lot of people want to be on camera. 2, the other part of the comment was, oh, your employees must hate working there. So now I did ask this employee, I said, hey, you mind being on camera really quick? He said he didn't mind. I didn't tell him anything. I really don't even know the question I'm going to ask him. But I will explain really quickly. He has been a customer here for about 22 years. He's been trying to work here for a while. Things just fell into place perfectly. He's been here now for a while, and you might know him if you've called us or came in. I'm going to go ask him I'm going to ask him one basic question. Well, kind of 2. But I'm going to put him on the spot. Okay, so I walked in the showroom and I turned the music off. He went somewhere, I think to either get something we clean. So I think he might be getting some cleaning products. But he's walking back in. And as I said, he knows it's going to be on video. But I'm going to ask him a question. I'm going to tell him actually what happened. Say hi to everyone, Angel.
Hi, everyone.
So now, of course, when I ask Angel this question, you're going to expect him to give the answer that everybody would expect. I told him I used to be a customer here. You were trying to get in here.
Yep.
So I want to say about a week or so ago, somebody said I don't feature other people that work here because they hate their job. Do you like working here?
Absolutely.
How long were you trying to get in here probably beforehand and pieces didn't fall into place?
Oh, man, I think since I came here day 1 in 08. I fell in love with the shop, and I think I made comments every year since then about trying to get in here.
Okay, so 08. I was a little off on time, but it's still a good lengthy time. What do you think our biggest issue, or more so people's biggest issue here that work either up front or in the back?
The biggest thing I'd say would be either people get too comfortable or complacent.
Okay.
And what I mean is I think a lot of times people forget that, especially you being the boss, that you're the boss and everyone's friend, but during 9 to 5, during work hours, people get a little complacent or comfortable with you being the boss, and yeah, that's what I think.
Some people would probably actually forget that I can yell and are kind of shocked when I have to show that side, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
You're good, Angel. Thank you. Okay, so I was off maybe a little bit with the years, but the one thing too that you guys didn't see was after I cut the video, he was nervous as, I don't want to swear because then YouTube might put me in a different category, whatever they want to do. People don't like being in front of the camera, and when they come here to work, they're not expecting to have the camera turned on them. it takes, even when I tell people, even when I ask customers, hey, do you mind being on camera? The amount of people that freeze, if you watch the podcast, I joked around about that too. You know, some people will be like, I'm good in front of the camera, and then as soon as that camera kicks on, and I'll even say it with me, there's times where I do multiple takes, there's times where I don't like what I said or I get a little nervous. It's the nature of it. At least for me it is. I don't like the way that I sound. I don't like my voice. I don't like watching myself. But people like seeing what I do. So that's why I feature this stuff. It's not just for my ego. I'm trying to give you guys an insight in our world and what goes on. Let's go to the next thing. And now we switch over to e-tuning. Something also that I do and I check up on a daily basis. And I will say this, as I said before, if you don't hear back from me, if you send me an email on a work day, so let's say Tuesday, and you don't hear back from me in at least 2 or 3 days, just bump up the email. We've been seeing an insane amount of emails, an insane amount of messages, where, as I just said, I'm not perfect. Don't flip out. I'm not trying to ignore you. There's just a lot on my plate, and an email here or there can go missed. Especially, I will say this too, weekend emails. If you send an email, let's say Friday night after hours, I am going to see a bunch of emails after that email because we have Saturday and Sunday, which unless I'm working, if I'm with family, I don't check. But here we have an e-tune that the car was dyno tuned here. He had some issues. He does not live close to us. And let me flip the camera around. Okay. Not only did I want to flip the camera around, I wanted to get on a tripod. I will also give a shout out to O'Neill. O'Neill must have heard in one of my videos that the camera was a little shaky, and I do try to keep it still. He ordered us a gimbal. He sent it to us. I don't have it with me. I'm still trying to learn all the features, but stuff like that, highly appreciated. More than people know, truly. Going back to this e-tune now, though, and what I want to say, or more so add, to give you guys a better picture, he was here for the tune, having some issues, took the car back home, came up with a game plan. Before he came back, he hasn't been back yet, and said, hey, let's go this route. Let's e-tune it a little bit to make sure your problem was fixed. He went back and forth. He tried this, tried that. We finally, after about, I want to say it was after about 10 revisions in the actual tune, I believe the problem is finally fixed. And what I'm going off of more so, or trying to explain to you guys, is this guy's nowhere close to us, and we were able to help him diagnose something. Not in the same state, so he lives states, I think he lives one state away. He's still, I think he's about 4 or 5 hour drive. But that goes without saying, as I always tell people, you show us support, we're going to support you through thick or thin. Now, I will say, the YouTube videos, we're getting more likes, we're getting the podcast stuff out, so we got a lot more videos coming out and all that stuff. We're seeing a lot more people just email us and say, hey, this is kind of the norm that it's been. Hey, I got no money, but can you help me out? You seem super helpful on YouTube, just trying to see what you can do. Every now and then, if I have some time, I'll yes, do this, do that, check this or check that, but I can't sit there and just offer the free help. As I tell people too, why I'm not up front is because everybody wants to come in and talk to me. I love talking. I'll be talking for hours, not getting any work done, and at the end of the day, it's not fair to our customers. So as much as I'd love to help everyone out for free, I can't do it anymore. And it's not that I'm a sellout. It's not that I don't like helping people. It's a business. If somebody wants to pay where I can just sit and answer questions, hey, start a GoFundMe for me. I don't know. But I can't because I have stuff to do. And it's just not shooting videos. As I said before, our YouTube channel is not humongous, and I'm not making money off of it that I can actually sustain. But I'm going to keep doing it because you guys like it. The comments, the feedbacks I hear, you guys like it. So let's go see what else we got going on. And here's another thing that I have to do. If you order an ECU from us, whether it be Hondata S300, the complete package, or a Haltech computer, We offer you a free base map built for your setup. So when you get it, you can plug it right in and it should start right up. And if it doesn't start up, then you shoot us an email with a data log, see if we can find anything that is going on, and or we give you the proper steps to take. We have one guy right now, I'm trying to think, he hasn't purchased anything from us, but he got his car running and he wanted to know, hey, can a TPS cause a too rich issue in the tune? So we gave him the answer back. That was a little bit of free advice, no big deal. Now, if you have a little bit of lengthy, an issue that's a little bit lengthy and you want to get me on the phone, of course I'll get on the phone. We got to schedule something. You can't just call and immediately think I can stop what I'm doing and run over and take care of, you on the phone. You schedule something, I get on the phone, we go from there. But a lot of people don't realize that, as I said before in this video, if we send you something and you purchased it from us, and the big key word there is from us, we're here till the end. We're not going anywhere. And the reason I mentioned from us is because we get a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails that will start off like this. Hey, I purchased a computer from somewhere else. I can't get my vehicle running for whatever reason. Tried to contact the other company that was very reachable when I wanted to buy something, and now I can't get a hold of them. They don't answer the phones. They won't return my email. Well, I wonder why. They made the sale. They don't care about anything else that's not making them money. Now, I'm not saying every company's like this. You might have had some experience with companies that are like this. At the end of the day, I really hope you guys get what I'm trying to explain. I'm not here trying to badmouth anybody. I don't have to get business like that. Unfortunately, some companies in this industry do, and it is what it is. That's never going to go away. Hopefully people can kind of see that light before they make a purchase and or get burned in a sense. Because we see that a lot too. Hey, I went elsewhere. They were a little bit cheaper. I should have came to you. Now you guys have to fix a problem. And depending on the problem, I'm going to say this too. I will turn certain cars away. I understand why you might have went somewhere else. But now that problem that shop created, in a sense, if it's something that we feel like we can tackle easily, then we'll take it on. But if I feel like it's going to be a can of worms, it's going to be a nightmare, it could be because the other shop did shoddy work, I don't want to be involved in that. There's stuff that, even at the end of the day, it's never going to be 100% because somebody screwed it up that bad. And I'm not trying to just put a patch over something. When something leaves here, it has to be 110%. I have to be 100%, yes, it's good to go. Or else I don't want to take the work on. No, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to put fear in people. Of course, always reach out with your problems and we'll tell you, hey, yeah, man, it's something we can tackle. Or, hey, we're super busy right now. Give us a shout out maybe in a week or so. But some stuff we just won't fix because another shop screwed up that badly. We've told people before. We've heard it before. Hey, it was built elsewhere. I got an issue now. It's like, no, if we're going to take it on, we want to start from scratch to make sure it's 100%. So at the end of the day, if you can't tell what I'm doing in my videos, and as I always keep saying, these videos are for you. These videos are to give you a little insight. And I'll also add, with the whole new podcast stuff we have coming on, that's going to be a little segment where we can extend how much time we have. People can just hear me rant, or I'll answer some questions. I'll give a lengthy answer. And if you don't like podcast stuff like that, that's fine. That's not for you. But everything I'm doing on this channel is for you guys, to help learn, to help educate. So in the long run, if you're many, many states away, you're still going to be helped. You still know what to look for. You still know what to do. It starts with you too, though. You guys got to do some research and homework. I see so much misinformation online. Get out there, study, educate yourself, and if you got questions, I'm here to help. And I'm going to add one more thing. This is a big trend too in this industry, and I'm sure it's in other industries. You'll see a shop one year recommending a product or recommending a company that makes that product. They'll push it down your throat. For that whole year, this is, let's just say, this is the best turbo company you can go with. Anything else is trash. This is the best engine sleeving company you can go with. You go with anybody else, you're going to have a failure. And then after that year, and I'm using a 1 year as an example, because what usually happens after 1 year is vendors might change their prices, they might change the terms that you have with that company. So if that company that the main company is trying to sell, let's say a turbo kit, this is the greatest turbo kit, and then after that year their prices change, or they say, hey man, you didn't sell enough of our product to keep getting that big discount, some companies will literally switch over, and now instead of recommending that sleeve block company, they're going to recommend somebody else, and then they're going to trash that company. Or instead of recommending that turbo kit that was awesome last year, and the same turbo, let's say there's 2 types of turbo kits, turbo kit A or B. Turbo kit B was amazing 1 year, and then the next year, let's forget about turbo company B. Turbo company A, this is... Some people are just here to sell you stuff. They're just here to make a quick buck. I'm very happy and proud that we've been in business for 24 years, but I'm not bragging. Not at all. You gotta watch who you listen to and who you believe. It's that simple. So I wanted to throw that little bit back in there because I forgot. Thanks for watching.